Hey everyone, how are we doing today? My name is Liz, and I'm going to be going over the client portal, MyChapter. I'm also going to be discussing a little new feature that we have with that, which is MyChapter in Spanish. So before we get started, I went ahead and just listed a little chat. So, as we're kind of working through this presentation, if you guys have any questions at all, please just pop them in the chat feature on the right. You can also just tell me how wonderful I'm doing in this presentation. That would go a long way. But before we get started too, I just wanted to let you know, as always, if you want to learn more information, you can always reach out to us. I'm going to drop the sales email right here. As we kind of wrap up today and you have additional questions or you want to speak to myself or any of the other three sales specialists here, you can just reach out to sales@mychapterbk.com and whoever oversees your district will be in touch. So that is all of the housekeeping stuff that I wanted to discuss before. So I'm going to go ahead and, as always, just share my screen with you guys. If somebody could just give me like a thumbs up that it has been shared, that would be wonderful because I just want to make sure that that's working. Additionally, I'm going to kind of pop back and forth between both of these screens. We'll always be able to kind of see that. So if somebody could just give me a little, thumbs up or heads up that you can indeed see my next chapter screen, that would be wonderful. All good. Thank you, Shelby. So I'm going to show you both how to set it up, within your account settings, and then how to actually get your client portal sent out to your client. So we all know this screen right here, right? This is going to be that first screen that we see as soon as we've logged in. So we're going to see our recent case list over here. We're going to see our notices down here. So first, before we even go into a case, I want to show you what it looks like from the account settings side. So up here at the top right of your screen, you're going to see this is our test account. So it says Debt Law Firm LLC, but you're going to see whatever your law firm is that you signed up with on your Next Chapter account. You're going to go into My Account Settings. After, of course, you've already filled in all of this information. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit and go to My Chapter Client Portal. So now, obviously with us, because this is our test site, we have already set up a lot of this information. So right here, you'll see at the very top, we've got our welcome message. Hello, welcome to MyChapter. You can always, always, always add more information. You can always kind of, it just works as you could just click in and delete what you want, add what you want. It's really easy to edit this welcome message right here. If you have a firm logo, you can absolutely, stick that right here. Contact information can be listed here, as well as email notifications. So whenever you do, receive the client information or, whatever it may be, you can always choose who is going to receive that information from your firm. Anytime you want to enter in a new email to allow somebody to receive the email notifications, just know that whoever's email you put here is going to be the one that's selected. So like right now, we've got our lead attorney. His name's Atticus Finch. His email is qa@nextchapterbk.com. We've got Melissa Navarro at Gmail. So if I were to enter in my own email right here, I would now be the defaulted person besides Melissa and besides Atticus Finch. So there is that as well. So right here, we can already see that we've got this little toggle option that we can say, add a welcome message in Spanish. If I hover over this little question mark, we've seen these little breadcrumbs all throughout the software. And if you've joined into another webinar of ours, we've kind of mentioned these. But this, if I just hover over this little orange question mark, it just gives us a little breadcrumb, right? So when you invite a debtor to MyChapter from this case, you can select to have the client portal be sent in Spanish. All I have to do is select that. If I want to add a custom message in Spanish, I would just do that here. And whatever else, you would want to kind of say within that message. Again, make sure we always choose who is receiving those email attachments. So that is what it looks like to add the information in Spanish. Really straightforward. this is what you would need to do on your end to get it all set up for the client to receive that in Spanish. So as I scroll down a little bit through down the page, I'll see this section that's called mail attachments. Again, if I'm going to hover over that little question mark, upload any document that you would like to be included. I will, of course, show you what it looks like to receive it on the debtor's end. But here you can upload, let's say if you have, some sort of letterhead that you just like the debtor to receive, or maybe you have some sort of client document agreement that you need something else that's signed that we don't prompt for you. You can absolutely upload that here, and then the debtor will receive it. And then once the debtor has actually completed their MyChapter client portal, they can also attach documents, to which, of course, I will show you as well. So that's where you can upload anything else that you think the debtor might need. As I scroll down, here are the individual sections that the debtor will be prompted to fill out. It's very straightforward things: addresses, real property, et cetera, et cetera. One great thing that's also really nice is that, depending on how, let's say for the address, they live at 100 Main Street. Let's say they accidentally put 99 Main Street instead of 100. You can always go and edit that information. So, it's not like once they fill it out, it's set in stone and you can't edit those. We also allow you to give custom instructions. So under here, under the address section, we can just say, hey, anywhere you've lived in the last 3 years. Same with property. You can add custom instructions there. All of these sections have that ability to create custom instructions. You'll also see that under each section, there will be another toggle option, right? I can either choose it on or off. Teal is on, gray is off. Within these sections, this allows you to basically hide that section from the debtor. So I'm coming to you from Columbus, Ohio, where farm and livestock is pretty big. But let's say you're in New York City or, LA, maybe there's not a lot of farm and livestock, so you don't really need it for your debtor. All I would do is just deselect it. Our custom instructions, that does not include the family dog. That's great. We do want to include him, right? But we can always just kind of hide those sections. And it's, again, that toggle option comes in every single section. So let's say income. Hey, you as the attorney, I don't know if I want them filling in their income section, just silence it. They won't even receive it as an invite. So that's really everything that I wanted to discuss on the account settings side. I'm going to just pop over into our, okay, thank you, Felipe. We got no questions. That's just how great I'm doing, right? So that's everything that I wanted to look at within the account settings side. So again, you can always just come in here under your account settings. You'll see under integrations, MyChapter client portal. It will take you to this page right here. So you will also be able to see all of the client portals for every client that you've invited. So at the very top here, we're going to see where it says client portal, right? I'm going to select that. And this is going to show all of my debtors that I have invited. What's really nice here too is that you can see the date that you invited them, the date that they submitted it, and the date that they imported the information into their petition. You can also see the status here. So, right, like Jane Doe right here, she was invited on November 12th. But she hasn't completed anything. She hasn't imported it back in. So you can kind of see where they're at. So, let's say with Jane, you're really trying to get her petition filed this week. You can just always either, shoot her a next message. You could shoot her an email and just say, hey, Jane, look at that client portal. I see that you've been invited. I see that, you haven't even started working through it. Kind of give her that, handy dandy little reminder. But we've got somebody like Neil Gaiman who he's ready, he's finished it all. He's ready to send it back, he's ready to kind of refill it out again. And then we have somebody like Sunshine. We have great test names. We have Sunshine. Sunshine completed theirs. Theirs is all good to go. So with all of these, you can also either choose to view, the information that they've got. So like this ready to review one from Milo Yorkie. We can see everything that they've entered in. We can also resend it, let's say like right here where we did send it back to both Neil Gaiman and Jerry Appleseed. Let's say if they forgot a section or they have something else that they need to fill out, you can always just resend that invite. You can also delete that invite as well. So that is what's listed under the MyChapter client portal. So now I'm going to show you how to actually invite the debtor and how this whole process works. So first things first, we have to create a case for them, right? So we have to have a case to assign their MyChapter client portal to, right? So I've gone ahead and created a Chapter 7 in Ohio Northern for Danny DeVito. So if I just select that name, it's going to take me into the case dashboard, right? Again, if you've been working with our software, this page looks very familiar to you. But if you haven't, if you're newer to MyChapter, this is going to be the first page of the petition, whereas you'll see all the schedules on the left. You'll see how to actually go through the filing process. I want to focus right here on this first page, right? So these are kind of like the fast facts of the case, if you will. So I'm just going to go to Client Portal. Again, I have that option to send it in Spanish. I'm going to select yes. All I need to do, we're going to pretend that this is Danny DeVito's email. I am not Danny DeVito. I want to clarify that. I am not Danny DeVito. But that is how you invite the client, right? So all you have to do is enter in their information. You just send in the email, you press send invite. And then what happens from there is that the debtor will receive a URL address and that invite, that welcome message, right? I actually just received it on my phone right here. So it just basically says, it says that welcome message, whether it be in English or Spanish, whichever one you prompted it to send. And then it will list a unique URL address that's just for, in this case, Danny DeVito. So if I go back into Client Portal, I'm going to see that now Danny DeVito was invited today. They haven't started it. They haven't submitted anything. They haven't imported. They're just waiting for that. They've got that invite. They're waiting to go. So if I just go into view, this is what the actual URL address takes them to. So whenever we send that invite out, they click on that URL address, it takes the debtor here. So the first thing, review tools, like that's just pretty straightforward, right? We're going to fix your letter capitalization. A lot of this stuff is very straightforward. You can see that we've already auto-populated the first and last name for this person because we already created that case for Danny DeVito within MyChapter. So they would just come in here, fill in their date of birth, the last four of their SSN, all of this information if they're filing jointly. And within our account settings, we left all of those individual sections. We kept those on. So that's why Danny is receiving all of these sections. But again, as per my example, this farm and livestock, let's say I silence that section wouldn't even be seen to Danny. So, in this case, Danny would not even see this section right here at all. It would just go straight from money and accounts to incomes. So always start at the top, work your way down. And then once we have finished, once Danny has finished his MyChapter profile, this will change to send back to attorney, right? So all that they have to do is select send back to attorney and then import into MyChapter, and then they're good to go. Again, you can always go back and edit that information within their petition. And because we did not prompt it to send in Spanish, that's why it's showing in English. So I am going to check our question box one more time. Nothing? Okay, sweet. That just means I'm super thorough. But yeah, everyone, that's really all I wanted to go through today. It's really straightforward. The great news is that if you have been using MyChapter for a while, you do have that option, but the processes are still pretty similar. You just have to select that little checkbox, within your account settings and within the petition, and then you'll be all set. So again, if anybody has any questions or if you want to see a full demo of the software, you can always reach out to us at sales@nextchapterbk.com. And then whoever does cover your district will be reaching out to you shortly. So if no one has any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, hope to hear from you soon.